Yells!
Hello everyone, Scott here from Classic Elite, and today I'm going to talk about Top Gun Hardlock for the Xbox 360. This game was developed by Headstrong Games and published by 505 Games. Top Gun is a dogfight shooter set in modern times, and unfortunately this will not really be a review of the entire game. I'm only going to be able to discuss what I've experienced this far, and so far it honestly isn't that much. I haven't been able to get a multiplayer match to work yet. I've spent about a half an hour over the course of 2 days logging in and out, as well as trying to host games, and I haven't had any luck, and it's only about 3 weeks out from the game's release. Also, I'm not the best gamer in the world, and unfortunately I'm stuck on the third mission. I can't get past it. I've spent quite a bit of time and I've failed quite a lot. I've set it to easy and unfortunately still can't get through, so I do apologize. This will be a pretty incomplete look at the game. But the first thing we should do is talk about the graphics. They're okay. They're not great, but that's not really important in this kind of a game. This is a shooter type, and it certainly does the job. Now, an aesthetic that I was hoping for more in was definitely the music. The option menu has the theme song, and so does part of the one of the first missions, but I was hoping to get a little bit more of the Top Gun, Kenny Loggins, Danger Zone type of music, and I didn't really see that. Maybe there's some licensing issues there, but if there weren't, I would have liked to have seen more of that. Now, the game has a 15-stage campaign. It also has a mode called the Danger Zone, where you combat waves of enemies, and it also has multiplayer, where you can go versus and co-op. Now, I can't comment, like I said, on most of the campaign and the multiplayer, but I'll still be able to talk about a lot of the basic gameplay. The premise of the game is that you're a new graduate of Top Gun named Spider, and an ally in your region has been overthrown by a military group, and you're part of the team that's going to go save them. Now, I'm not sure about later in the game, but so far the first 3 levels are basically you taking part in dogfights between enemy jets and also missile launching boats. Now, the controls are pretty easy to understand, and they're also pretty easy to get used to. The left analog stick handles your direction and your pitch, and the right analog stick does the maneuvers and your afterburners. Now, the layout of the buttons are an arcade style versus what you see in a first-person shooter, but they fit this game. Your first instinct may be to shoot with the trigger first, but that actually controls your throttle, and I can see why they chose this method for the controls. You can also invert the analog stick to go with more traditional aircraft controls, and I actually opted to do this. I think anybody from the old school James Bond days will particularly appreciate this control pattern. Now, the main function in this game is the feature called Hardlock, and essentially what this allows you to do is lock onto an enemy so that you can guarantee pretty much to hit them. Now, unfortunately for me, I couldn't find this mechanic to work very well. The controls are pretty loose and jumpy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in a flight game, but for this targeting system it is, because I had a really hard time being able to lock onto an enemy without getting involved in a quick time event that allowed me to dodge an enemy's missile and increase my hard lock radius. I couldn't really figure out a way to increase my radius unless I did actually get into a quick time maneuver, and this kind of broke up the gameplay a little bit for me, and I wish that there was a way that I could have had an easier time targeting without having to get into a dodging situation. This then led the gameplay to start to feel pretty repetitive fairly quickly, and one thing that I really wish was in the game is some sort of a hint system in easy mode. I'm stuck, and I need a little bit of help, and there's not a lot of coverage out there online for this game, so not really sure what to do about that. I apologize, I can't give any more insight than that. As I mentioned earlier, I've put a couple hours into the game, and I'm just stuck and can't really get any further. But I've been playing it, and I love recording stuff with my Hipog PVR, so I wanted to at least get a video out since I've been playing the game, and give you my thoughts and experiences so far. But as you can see, the footage looks really nice. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys soon.